why is it so important to keep pre and post-acute care workers in the industry? Kristen, I know this is a topic that's near and dear to you, so I'm going to start with you.
Well, very similar to, I think, people that have lived in California at a certain point in time in their life and then decided to leave. You realize that it's very hard to return and go back from a cost of living. If you lose your employees from a healthcare perspective and out of our industry, it's very hard to get them to come back into the industry. And I think from a statistics perspective, you see that 26% we've had a hospice turnover. It's risen, and we have had, it costs about $88,000 per employee. And from a home care perspective, 97.8% of agencies have communicated that, hey, this is the real problem here, and it's affecting our bottom line. Meanwhile, you're getting more referrals. You're getting from a rebounded from 2016, more referrals and more clients that are saying, hey, we want care in the patient's home. So I think from a perspective of why is this important, the opportunity to be able to drive more care in the patient home is there. We're seeing that from a referral standpoint. And we're seeing also the problem of our caregivers and our clinicians leaving the industry. So I think it's definitely a worthy topic.
Absolutely. I think this is something that is being felt across the industry. Dr. Moss, I think that you were talking a little bit about this before we started. Did you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, thanks, Amanda. Yeah, I think the other, besides the bottom line, which clearly is, without saying, very impactful, but you start to be concerned about impacts on quality and patient experience, as well as our seasoned caregivers leave the industry, leave healthcare. Notwithstanding challenges in training and getting new healthcare workers out in the field, but in hospice in particular, we've been a little bit snooty, if you will, in that we wanted seasoned caregivers. We wanted a nurse that had ICU experience or had med-surg experience, and we don't really have that luxury anymore. And so how do you bridge that gap and still maintain the quality and patient experience for those that we serve? So I think that retaining has lots of downstream impacts if we don't do it well.
Yeah, well said. I think one of the things that goes through my mind related to this question is, before the pandemic, we had a caregiver shortage, and we weren't going to have enough caregivers, especially on the personal care side. So then you had the pandemic, that had an impact on caregivers. Then you have, on the personal care side, every time Amazon opens up a warehouse in one of our markets, we get nervous because Amazon is, from an hourly pay perspective, while they can't offer the rewards that we do in healthcare, it has an impact. And so, the rising wages in retail and restaurants, those sorts of things, all of those things are having an impact, and it's, exacerbating a challenge that existed, prior to these other things that are pulling more people away from the industry. So I think if we're going to meet the need, which, Kristen, to your point, is growing and was already growing, but now with the pandemic, even more people want to be at home, and the hospitals want them to be at home. And so, yeah, it's imperative that we find, creative solutions to meet people where they are and keep them in this important industry doing really important work. And I would even add, continue to find ways to bring more folks into the industry as well, trying to retain the best ones.